Hey everybody, welcome to Southern Gmore Gals. So this is my third Thursday thrift flip video for August. I want to welcome everybody here if you're new, and if you're returning, welcome back. I'm Elizabeth, and in my video today I have 3 really fun and easy thrift flips. Welcome everybody. This is a really exciting time. I think this is our 1-year anniversary of our third Thursday thrift flip. So I'm really excited that you're tuning in today. For my first flip, I found this at Goodwill and I paid $3 for it. I thought it was a really unique looking piece. The first thing I did was just give it a fresh coat of black, and I just used a black spray paint. And once that dried, I just went over it with some white. This is the shade I use, like an ivory brisk. It's kind of like an off-white shade. And then I'm just taking some really coarse sandpaper. This is like a 60, so it's a rough sandpaper. And I'm just going around the edges just to give it a little bit of a weathered or a rustic look, or give it some distressing. So I'm really grateful to have been able to do the collab with Tammy from the Rustic Willow for over the last year. So it's been really exciting. We've had lots of YouTubers join us over the last year. So I hope everyone is enjoying having our third Thursday Thrift Flips collab videos. And the next flip that I have in this video, the little piece on top of this one, I have the second flip looks almost identical to that little piece. So it's kind of ironic that I found these, I think, on the same trip. But I thought both of those little emblems, like the one on the top of this one and the other one, that they would coordinate really good together. They seem to be kind of the same shape. I did use a hammer on the little flat part here, the little candle holder. It looked a little bit bent, so I tried to straighten that out some. And my original thought was to put a candle on here, of course, in some type of wreath. But since it's moving on into fall, I'm going to put some pumpkins on here. I saw on an online store they had some pumpkins that look like kind of like birch wood, so that's what we're going to do. So this is our third Thursday thrift flip collaboration, where Tammy from the Rustic Willow and myself, we host an open invite on the third Thursday of each month. So this month we have a new co-host, is Courtney from Amethyst Adventures. Courtney has some awesome thrift flips along with some beautiful tablescapes and some other collaborations that she's in. So if you don't know her, check out her channel. It's listed down in my description box, and Tammy's channel is listed in my description box. Check out both their channels and subscribe. Also check out the playlist and see what everybody is flipping over this month, and subscribe and support everybody's channel. So I'm going to use a pumpkin I found at the Dollar Tree, and I just got this the other day. They're very limited on fall supplies at my store. It's kind of sad, but I actually found one. But I'm going to paint it with the ivory shade of Waverly chalk paint, and here it is. And I saw these pumpkins that look like kind of like birch wood is what they were trying to look like, and I thought they were really pretty. So that's what I'm going to try to go for. I'm going to use some of the Waverly antique wax, and I'm just going to go along the ridges or inside the grooves of the pumpkin. I'm also going to use a pumpkin in another DIY, so I'm going to do both of those. So that's the other one sitting there beside of it. And I'm going to just continue this around both of the pumpkins and all of the grooves. And then I'm going to take like a little floss pick, and I'm actually going to use that to do the little lines of the birch. I wanted something really solid. I thought a paintbrush might get a little wavy or a little uneven more, so I thought that would work really good. So I'm just going to use that and make some lines, some horizontal lines around both of my pumpkins. And here you can see I'm just doing that. I'm just kind of painting several little lines just randomly, just in different places all over both of the pumpkins. And these don't have to be perfect, and if you mess up, you can add a little bit of white. I know I got off on a couple of them. I smudged a couple, so I had to use just a little bit of that white to touch it up. But once I got my lines in here, I'm taking kind of like a seafoam shade of green and just kind of splotching it on here a little bit, just to give it more of that kind of birchwood look. And I wanted a little bit of a wreath around this candle holder. So I just have a little bit of this boxwood that I had from some other DIYs. So I just made like a little simple wreath there. And then I clipped some of that little greenery and put it around there just to make a little bit of a wreath. And I think this turned out really pretty. Let me know what you think about this piece. So for flip number 2, this is the piece I was talking about. See, the center piece in here looks like the topper on the other piece. I thought that was really funny that I found both these pieces at the same time. I got this at Goodwill. I think I paid $1 for it. I've had it for a little while, and I just haven't flip these over yet, but the first thing I did was I spray painted it black, and then I'm going to go on top of that with the agave shade of Waverly chalk paint, and I didn't do it really heavy, so you can see there, you can still see through it some, and then I'm going to take that sandpaper and just go over it really lightly. But I noticed that it started taking too much of the paint off with the sandpaper. So I just did that really lightly, and then I'm going to take some of the antique wax and go around the edges of this piece just to give it a little bit more of distressing. And turquoise or aqua, I think, is probably one of my favorite colors. I love the kind of the green shades and that blue-green, so I always love anything, I think, this shade. But I think this piece is turning out really pretty. So this is before I put the antique wax here. So I'm just going to go over this really lightly, just on this little like filigree piece in the center. And then I'm going to go around the corners and the edges. I'm just using a little bit of a, kind of like a big chunky brush from the Dollar Tree. So this one's super easy and really fast. For my third flip, I found this at a thrift store. Only paid 50 cents for it. It's just like a little wooden spindle. I spray painted it black first, and then I'm going to go over it with some of the Waverly chalk paint, the elephant shade. I want this to have a little bit of gray, but also have some of the black showing through and a little bit of the wood. We're going to use the sandpaper again. This is that really coarse sandpaper. So I'm just going to take this, go around the edges with it just to show some of that wood till it shows through here. And I'm going to use the pumpkin, the other pumpkin. This is a foam pumpkin from the Dollar Tree. I also had painted this the same ivory shade. I did some of those little lines on here to try to make it look like the birch wood. And I'm just going to, I pulled out the stem there. And then I'm just cutting a small circle in the top here. And we're just going to put a couple little floral pieces, some fall floral pieces in this pumpkin. And then we're going to put it on our little spindle. So here it is. I just put a couple little floral items I had from the Dollar Tree left over from last year. So really simple, easy way to make this over for fall and make it a modern looking piece. I hope I inspired you to flip some things over or make them over, make them unique, make them your own. Thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to check out Tammy's channel, The Rusted Willow, and Courtney's channel, Amethyst Adventures, and don't forget to check out the playlist. Subscribe to everybody's channels and give us some support. It's free to subscribe to our channels. Give us a like and a comment. That also helps out our channels. And let me know what you think. Which one's your favorite here in my thrift flips? And then come back and join us next month on the third Thursday of the month. And if you're a creator and want to join us, just let me or Tammy know, and we'll get you added to our chat. Thanks, and have a good day.